something that you get into and out of. It could be the same day, it could be a couple days later, a week later, a month later. Really, it depends on what your style is, what your personality is like. These assets can be kind of structured and chosen in a way that really is comfortable for you, that helps you with that confidence level. Futures are great for somebody who is very short term in their needs and goals. You're looking at trading the major stock markets. So if you happen to like the stock market, you can participate with that leverage with futures. You can trade commodities, and that there's a huge a number of choices there. I would be remiss if I didn't have Josh mention his favorite.
Well, I stumped you last time, but I'm going to say it is still my favorite, lean hogs.
Lean hogs. But there's corn, sugar, soybeans, lean hogs, as we mentioned. You can trade oil. You can trade the precious metals, gold, silver, commodities, currencies, interest rates. You have a number of different choices there, which really give you an opportunity to be diversified. So maybe if you're looking at putting one position together with the stock, and a lot of the equities out there now are very high price. So for a lot of people, maybe they can only afford one position. Well, maybe if you're using a leveraged asset, you can have those smaller kind of down payment investments where maybe you have more than one. You have three or four, maybe that have good diversification, which is another way of kind of protecting your assets.
You're right. I mean, you almost said something wrong there.
What did I almost say?
You said protecting your assets. Anyways,
okay.
Going off on a tangent there. But so to clarify what Al's talking about short term, a lot of people might be thinking, oh, that might be day trading. In my opinion, that's kind of a thing of the past, right? You see that on TV where someone's, smoking a cigar, drinking scotch, sweating, making emotional decisions on a computer and placing as many trades as they can. Day trading, all that really means is you're in and out of a position in the same day. That's all it means. Right. So you can technically be a day trader, but when you place your investments and your entry points and your targets into your platform, which is where you place your orders, it does it for you automatically. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're click, 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 click. It's you have a plan to get in your positions, but also to get out of them. If you think about it, I mean, if you need more help with that emotion, but how to do that and still have confidence, you have to have that plan. If you want to learn more about that plan, Al really talks about the investment plan, the rules, the tools that's needed to make those decisions where you're not putting the emotions in there. So callers 1 through 10, I want to give away 20 tickets for this investing class. And I'm also going to give away the Financial Quick Start Kit. There's a couple topics in there. There's some investing time horizons, but also bond strategies. Call 952-814-4410. You can also register for this class online by going to learnwithota.com. So, Al, you mentioned the shorter term strategies, techniques, and concepts that people like to utilize for whatever their objective is, if that is a short-term basis. Now, there's another asset, which is Forex, which a lot of people really love to use as a longer-term strategy, more like a swing trading strategies, because there's multiple strategies. You have short-term, mid-term, which would be swing trading, and then you have long-term, which would be like position trading. Right. So talk more about the Forex market and why so many people like to utilize that, especially if they work during the day.
Yeah, well, if like futures, the Forex market trades 24 hours a day. So, there's always something going on around the world. All the other markets don't close just because our market closes. So you have the opportunity, if you work during the stock market hours, that might preclude you from being active if that's what your goal is. Well, with an asset that trades 24 hours a day, you can choose when you trade. And in a 24-hour period, more than likely, you're not working 24 hours.
Let's hope not.
And some people might have shifts like that, but for the most part, you have time that you can choose. Maybe it's early in the morning, maybe it's late at night. Maybe if you can't sleep, you can get up and trade the Forex market, the futures market. Those are markets that are not only have leverage, but they have the versatility as far as the amount of trading or the time that you can trade them. But also with Forex, as Josh mentioned, you can use those for your long-term investments to help boost your retirement accounts, and you can use them short-term. It depends on the time frame of the chart that you're using. But some of the trends in the currency markets last for a long time, so you have that opportunity to be a longer-term trader there.
Yeah, the reason they last so long is this is monetary policy. You're
It's
essentially
slow.
trading, very, very slow. I mean, think about it. They have interest rate FOMC meetings, which is the Fed,
Right.
and they're always talking about interest rates and when do we change them and how do we change them? How many times do we hear they're going to stay at the same rate and we're thinking about changing it in the next year? So things trend typically
Right.
or potentially for longer periods of time because they're not changing that monetary policy. They can't. It'll hurt those businesses doing business with that company
Yeah,
or
and
country.
these assets that we're talking about really were put together, designed for these major companies, major corporations to help them with their business. And the great thing is now we as investors or speculators, we can participate in those markets. And what people say, well, what do I use? Do I use futures? Do I use Forex? What about options? How do I choose? Well, one of the things that we talk about in these classes, we talk about the different assets and kind of go over what the differences are. A lot of times it comes down to personal preference. A lot of times it comes down to what your goal is, what your expectations are. But the important thing is that you don't have to go to one location and learn about futures, and then you have to go to a whole different company to learn about Forex, a different company to learn about options. At the Online Trading Academy, education is available on all of those. And the important thing is we can help guide you towards what might be the best one for you, giving you better opportunities to potentially achieve your goals. And in the plan that you have, the asset that you're using, assets will be part of that plan. But if you have a proper plan, this is one of the things that gives you confidence because you should never have to ask, what do I do now? That plan that you have is already going to have you planning ahead and knowing all of the potential outcomes and how you're going to respond to them. That's really what gives you confidence. You should know why you bought where you bought. You should know why you exited where you did when you were wrong to protect your principal, and you should know why you choose the target that you did to get out with the proper profit potential that is there for you. And the key there is to start with the proper price because that is going to determine the quality of your protection and also the quality of your profit.
Yeah, and you can almost just call that target trading, just have an acronym for it, target trading. Now, with these different strategies, these different techniques, whether they're short term or they're longer term, it gives us the opportunity to still participate. I mean, think about that. Most people listening right now probably work during the day. With these 24-hour markets, it gives you the opportunity to do something in the evening rather than watch Netflix. So if you want to learn more about these other assets, learn more on how to utilize leverage in the financial markets, use a 24-hour market, it takes a little bit of action. And Al talks about and teaches these different techniques in these investing classes right here at our sponsor, Online Trading Academy. We do these during the week, typically in the morning. We also have these on the weekend as well. They're only 2 hours. So I want to invite you to this investing class. And I'm going to do callers 1 through 10. When you call in right now, you're going to receive 2 tickets for the investing class. You're also going to receive the retirement planner. There's a couple topics in there. There's investing time horizons, but also there's a cost of procrastination. What is that really costing you? Call 952-814-4410. That's 952-814-4410. We've covered, I guess, 2 of the, we'll call it the shorter term strategies for people that are in their accumulation years. But also, I want to get into the longer term strategies. We have a lot of listeners that want to learn more about retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs. But most people are trying to understand, what are options? Why can I utilize them? How do I utilize leverage in my retirement accounts and keep some money protected at all times? So coming up next, options and longer term strategies with retirement accounts. Call 952-814-4410. You can also register for this investing class by going to learnwithota.com. This is Josh and Al, Investing with Confidence.